What's going on, guys? Your boy Amazing here, back with another video. And in today's video, guys, I wanted to discuss all the upcoming celebrations that we know are going to be releasing before the end of this year. You know, we're coming up on the end of the year, guys. It's already September now, so we only got October, November, December, and then we're in the new year. And so I wanted to talk about all the celebrations, collaborations, and things that we know are going to be coming in the following half of this year, or the second half. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, definitely make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, as we are on the way to that 54,000 subscribers. I definitely do appreciate the support on the channel, guys. And with that out of the way, man, let's hop in and let's talk about it. So here, I'm gonna zoom in my display here, guys. We'll switch over to Dreamer Plays his Grand Cross sheet. And this is going to be the guide for where we're going to be able to understand what banners are going to be releasing when, and kind of just finding an idea for what celebrations happened last year, and we can kind of correlate that to this year. Now also, guys, before we even talk about the actual sheet itself that Dreamer Plays has here, I do want to mention that from the video that I did where we talked about the new era of Grand Cross, I went over this developer feedback, I guess, or it's like a like a roadmap for Grand Cross. And one of the big things that they mentioned here is in the second half of this year, we will be getting a new collaboration with a brand new IP, and they pretty much say it will surprise us as well. So yeah, I mean, that is in the works. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to make sure we're able to slot that in at some point through the later half of this year, and we'll talk about why that's the case. But yeah, let's go to last year, guys, and we'll go through all of 2024, and we'll talk about the releases that we had and then kind of compare it to this year. So January 11, 2024, we got the Green Fairy King. Now this year we got, what was it, the Red Zariel. Yeah, so we obviously had our equivalent. It's like the part 2 to the New Year's unit from the year prior, and so yeah, that's just kind of expected. Now the difference is that we didn't get a banner for 2 weeks after Zariel this year, and we actually got a collaboration, being the rerun collaboration for Tower of God, right? And we got 2 new characters with that, and that was at the end of January. Now the year prior, guys, we actually didn't get a collab. Oh no, we did get a collab actually in that slot, but it was with a step up banner prior to that. So we actually had Shin and then into the collaboration. So yeah, that makes sense, because last year we had one, and then this year as well. So so far so good, right? We're on track. And then the next thing that we had here was in the middle of February, we had Red Jormungand, which was a limited SSR unit. And then the festival at the end of February, beginning of March, which was I guess like the 50th anniversary for Global, I guess you could say, right? So here, let me actually go back to the year prior, and let's see what we got for that release. So for that release, it was mid-February, and then end of February was Chaos Arthur. So yeah, that actually does align. So we had Queen Diane the year prior, and then we had the Chaos Arthur. Whereas with this year, guys, we actually had Jormungand into the Darkness Mael. So again, you guys can see here, same kind of release schedule, and the same kind of character releases as well. So this was like a Holy War festival in a sense, right, with Mael. And then yeah, with Chaos Arthur here, it was the 4th anniversary celebration for Global. So yeah, you guys can kind of see that we're getting the kind of similar celebrations in the same time slots, right? So yeah, next one here would be Gelda, right? So we have Gelda right here, and she released on March 14th. And then we had UR Gulthur. So this is where we had back-to-back months of just double festival URs. Now if we go to this year, we actually did not get a UR in that slot. We actually got a limited SSR character, being the Green Hell. And you guys remember when this character did release, we were kind of shocked, because we were kind of expecting like a some type of, maybe not necessarily like a festival, but like a a big character release in this slot, since the year prior was another UR fest. But they actually decided to go with a limited 600 banner character, being the Green Hell, and she was festival level, at the very least. So there is that. So yeah, that's what we had this year. And then yeah, going back again to last year here, we had the Mark II Valenti in the middle of April, and then we had a collaboration at the end of April. Now what did we get for April this year? Yeah, same thing, right? So we had a a banner right here for the green tier, and then we had what was it, Eminence and Shadow, right? And that's their first ever release for that. So that was a brand new collaboration. We had that end of April. You guys can see so far we're lining up with last year. Like everything is matching, right? So far, I mean, other than I guess like the UR Fest in what was it, in March, right? Like the end of March. That's like the only thing. So we had a no UR festival here. We had a limited SSR. right? So yeah, and then let's go back to the previous year here, because we got to go to the anniversary. So we had Scotty right here, which was the May 9th, and then the May 23rd of last year was the UR Escanor, the green one, right? So this is the 5th year anniversary overall for the game, and this was for JP 5th year anniversary last year, right? So this year we actually had the 6th year anniversary for JP, which was the King and Diane duo unit. You guys remember this when we had this going on end of May, literally same time frame. You see, it was what was it, May 23rd they said, and then, you know, King and Diane here May 22nd here as well, and then yeah, Kid Tristan was the limited before that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And then we had Pelagard into Vargi, Step Up into Sunjin Woo, which was the solo leveling collab. Now let's see what we had last year actually in this time slot. I think this time slot last year was actually a festival, yeah. So you guys can see right here, June 5th was Percival and Wild. One was a pickup banner, one was free. And then we had the Step Up Chandler, and then into UR Sobnox. So this is where we start to deviate, guys, in terms of, you know, last year versus this year. You know, last year we had a you know, UR festival in this slot. This year we have a collaboration in that slot, right? So that's where, you know, things definitely do change. And so we did get solo leveling at the end of June, and last year we had a UR festival. So moving on from that, we did get at the end of July, which we're kind of coming up to where we're at right now in the game, UR you know, Demon King's Elders, right? So this is the Darkness Demon King, and this was the 5.5 anniversary, and this was end of July. So last year now, if you go to end of July, we actually did get a UR Thor, right? You can see right here, 25th of July, UR Thor, another back-to-back UR festival, by the way. So yeah, last year we actually just got spammed with UR Fest, guys. This year it's been a lot less, you know, like, you know, crazy, I guess you could say. You know, they definitely like dialed it back, and I understand why, because people had complaints, right? Like there was too many URs in a row, and so they were like, okay, we gotta kind of space it out. So yeah, Demon King here released end of July. We had a UR festival last year, end of July as well. It was the Blue Thor, and then yeah, right here we had the Blue Assault Meliodas, and then we had the Scotty, which was a step up into Gelda. Now last year at the end of August, we actually had a collaboration. So this is where we had, you know, things kind of swap, guys. So remember, Sobnox slot was a collaboration for us this year, whereas you know, the other way around, right? It was, we get a Gelda here at the end of August, whereas last year was a collaboration. So you can see that, you know, they have kind of swapped a few of the like kind of time slots in terms of when they're releasing things. So there is that at the very least. But yeah, I mean, you know, just something to take note about. And then yeah, from now on here, guys, this is pretty much stuff that we don't really know is coming. So obviously we had the Easton. We do know that this coming week is going to be LR Cusack. I mean, if you guys have seen already like the D2, D3, all that, you already seen that he is, you know, pretty much getting teased, and so he's going to be releasing this week. But now we have the rest of September, we have October, November, December. So let's go to last year, and let's now kind of go through and we'll talk about what we had released during those time frames. So end of September, we had a limited banner, guys. So this is going to be either a, you know, in this time slot at least, it might be a collab, it might be a festival, it might just be a limited 600 banner. We do not know, but we just had Gelda. So I'm honestly leaning towards the fact that we're probably getting a collab in this slot, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then right after that, we got Red Esterosa, which was a Halloween unit. And then we had a collaboration here. So this is where I think they might do, okay, maybe they do another limited 600 here, you know, in like October, right? End of October. And then end of September is the collaboration, because that would kind of make sense. They would move the collab from here to here. And then November, this is where we get to November Fest, right? So this is where we had Blue Lancelot from last year. If you guys remember, he was absurd, right? The banner was crazy. You know, the character himself was crazy. And yeah, I mean, you know, November Fest, you guys know November Fest, like end of November, you know, end of the year as well. Those are like the crazy time slots for Grand Cross, and when like, you know, things are just going insane, right? So Blue Lancelot, he was the end of November last year, so I'm definitely expecting another crazy character to release end of November. And the banner was also insane, guys. So remember, 5.5 year anniversary last year. And then for the later half of the year, going into December, we had the Green Nazians, you know, just like standard SSR character with a step up into the end of year character, or the, like, you know, I guess Christmas character, I guess, but they you know, they usually call it the New Year's celebration, right? So that's where we got Malieli, right? And so I'm definitely expecting, you know, around this time, guys, we definitely do get, you know, because in the what is it, the like kind of roadmap here, they did also talk about, you know, having other duo characters here. So you can see here, let me actually find the time slot here where they mentioned it. but they do mention like, oh, we want to do Merlin and Escanor, right? We want to do Bond and Elaine. So things like that, I think that could be, yeah, so right here, right? So they do mention that, you know, yeah, so Escanor and Merlin, right? They talk Bond and Elaine. So yeah, I mean, it's possible that the end of the year really is just, you know, we just take the end of the year here and just kind of, you know, kind of guess what it's going to be. Maybe it is just double duo units, you know, maybe they do that. So that is something they possibly could do. I mean, again, with the end of last year, we got Meliele, right? And, you know, that was their December or like New Year character. The November Fest, though, was a 4-Koa character. So it's possible they do, you know, maybe like a Tristan, like an adult Tristan, I guess, or not necessarily like adult, but like, you know, grown-up Tristan, because we don't have that version yet. And then we get like another duo character, maybe like Merlin Escanor end of year, right? So like things like that, like we could definitely kind of expect that. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much the kind of timeline here for what we got going on Grand Cross. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the later half of this year. What are you guys expecting? Do you guys expect, you know, the collab to be end of this month, or do you guys think it's going to be in October like it was last year? And what do you guys think the November and December festival are going to be? So that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one, man. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day, guys. See you later, man.